Are okay, because I'm like, is this shit gonna start or no? This is totally unplanned. I'm just doing this because last night before I went to bed, I pulled some cards and I left them on the table because this energy was, I guess, something that I figured I would talk about later on. Prediction. And they came out in this order: the Magician, the World card, the Nine of Pentacles, and Temperance. Child, if you a reader, you already know what this getting with. But every time I would like walk past my desk or something, I would just think like, what is this trying to talk about? Can I sit this up here without? Yeah, I'm like, what is this trying to talk about? Obviously, the obvious, manifesting the world, the life that you want for yourself, etc., etc. But what I think this is like, they came out Magician first to the Temperance, but what I'm feeling is like very hot. Let me turn my fan towards me. Child. Hot than what? It's 80 something today. I digress. I think it starts like the storyline, the punchline of this message starts the opposite way. From Temperance to Nine of Pentacles to the World to the Magician at the end. What this feels like, in the chills start. What this feels like is the process to finding your power, to finding out who it is that you are and finding your strength. We're gonna start with this Temperance card, and just so to happen at the end of the deck, the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Swords. This Temperance is given the energy of something, like it's the realization that something is not right, something is off, something needs to change, right? It don't matter what you go through in life, what you going through currently in life. Once you make that realization, like, this shit is not it, this is not working for me, that scale automatically, I think about the scales when I think about the Temperance card. Because like they have two cups, right? And it's like 3-3-3, trying to keep the waters balanced. You feel me? So it's like once you make that realization, those scales is already starting to tip in your favor. Like the blindfold has come off. Or you starting to pick at it. You realize this blindfold is very uncomfortable, and you stick your finger up underneath it, and you start making wiggle room with that little realization. Now, from the Nine of Swords to the Temperance card to the Nine of Pentacles, that's a big leap. Okay, it don't talk about the process to get to that point, because it gets harder before it gets easier, like you really gotta, that first realization is the first step to many, many, many other realizations. I'm thinking about the Tower card. because the foundations in which you have been standing upon are now gonna come crumbling down, because the fact that it's not working means that it can no longer be. And that is not an easy process. You gotta realize the people I've been around ain't it. You realize the people that you love don't necessarily love you back, and or the love that they do have to offer you is toxic, and or not, it don't resonate with the type of love that your soul requires. You realize you've been in this job that you fucking hate and that they don't give a fuck about you. You realize you say yes to things that you absolutely do not want to be a part of. And you say no to things that you would absolutely love to be a part of, but you're too afraid. You do not believe in yourself. There's a lot of realizations that are made in between these cards. In between these cards. These are huge leaps. There are huge gaps in between these cards. There are years worth of trauma to work through, years worth of conditioning that needs to be worked through. There is so much self-realization because you've been so blindfolded and so trapped in the past that you didn't have the time or the capacity to sit there with yourself and look at yourself and look at your life. These are all the things that you really have to like go through. And it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy. It's not easy at all. Like, but you start making these conscious decisions like, okay, this is not working for me. And then you start asking yourself questions. What can I do? What can I do to better this? And all while you're doing it, the scales have been imbalanced. So every question you ask, every realization you make is meant to restore balance with this temperance. Now, I don't really throw around the term, the phrase fully heal, because healing is as a lifelong process. There's always room to improve. There's always shift and change. Like nothing stays the same forever. You're constantly growing. You know, there's shit constantly going on outside of you that you have no control of. There is no such thing as being fully healed from shit. Period. But once you get to a state where you have a certain level of clarity, you have a certain level of level-headedness, you have a certain level of care for self, right? And a certain level of want, willingness to change your situation. And then you are putting forth these steps in order to do so. After a while, things become a lot more balanced. And then you look back at what you've been through. And that's why it's a huge leap between these cards, because we not looking at all the progress we making while we making that progress. No, because we still striving for better. We still working through that pain, whilst still trying to like bring light and happiness and love into our lives and feed that shit to ourselves. I love all the bees I'm starting to see now. Them bitches big though. I digress. I'm in front of my window. I digress. But that's why there's such big leaps and big gaps in between these cards, because that is everything in the reading is relevant. That is signifying those, like I said, sometimes a year-long process, like couple years long processes to get from where you are. And then you look back from the Nine of Swords to the Temperance, you look back at where you was in the Nine of Swords and you're like, wow, I was so lost. I was so blinded. I was so trapped in where I was mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. That man is as red as the shirt he got on. Child, put some sunscreen on. I digress again. That baby skin, ooh Lord. I digress. And then you look back from the temp and you're like, wow, I really did what I had to do to balance things out. This is balanced. I can work with this. And then that's when the Nine of Pentacles come in. The leap, like the years long process in between the Temperance to the Nine of Pentacles is realizing, wow, I was able to get through that situation I didn't think I was going to be able to get through. There was times where I felt so hopeless and so helpless, and I felt like this would be my reality forever. I got through that. That's where that self-realization comes in. I am strong. I am powerful. Right? So you start like tiptoeing into your power, dipping your toes in there, like standing up for yourself, going for what you believe in, saying yes when you want to say no, say yes, saying yes when you want to say yes, and saying no when you want to say no. Bit by bit and inching more and more into your power, wearing that outfit that you want to wear, that you was too afraid to wear because you didn't have enough confidence in yourself, because somebody told you some fuck shit back in the day, or you was afraid of, that cycle repeating and people constantly putting you down. You stopped giving a fuck. Bit by bit by bit, you started doing things that made you happy. You started betting on yourself. You started leaning in to yourself and into your power. So now you at this pre-Empress energy with the Nine of Pentacles, working hard, working diligently towards what it is that you want from the Nine of Pentacles to the world, your life to look like. Right? And that's that leap from Temperance to Nine of Pentacles to the World card. So this World card leap, this is talking about the planning process. You start asking yourself more questions, more in-depth questions. Your questions, literally, your questions start getting more in-depth and more in tune and more in alignment with what it is that you want. Starting with, what exactly is it that I want? What do I want my life to look like? This is just an example. I want a nice house and I want a nice car. I want to be financially stable. And then you trickle it down. Okay, how do I do that? I want a nice car. Okay, I got to get my license. How do I get my license? I educate myself. I study. I take the test. Boom, I took the test, did all that. I got my license. I got a nice job that pays me very well. It pays me my worth. Or I started my business because I believed in me. I started my business. I am my own boss. I got that. Boom, bought my car. Put my down payment on. You could have bought it outright, however the fuck you wanted to do it, right? So you can cross that off your list now. Nice house. Okay? You're doing well. You could go get a loan or something. Or, you don't even got to start there. You can start by, okay, what kind of house do I want? Because there's so many different types of housing, starting from the apartment up to the duplex, up to the motherfucking, little one bedroom house, up to how many bedrooms do I want in my house? What type of house do I want? What do I want my house to look like? Just brainstorming these things. That's the world process. You are mapping out what you want your world to look like. And from that gap from the world to the magician, finally, is that action you've put forth. Like I said, you did all that and you got your core, right? That's the action that you put forth, right? Because you believed in yourself. You believed in, okay, I mapped out what I want my world to look like, and you believed that you deserved it, that you were worthy of it, that you were able and capable of making that shit a reality for yourself. And once you had that, you took your plan and you put forth action and effort. That's why you gonna have what the fuck you want. So if this is described, if any, it wherever you are in this journey, if you just realizing that you got a blindfold on and that things ain't working for you and you about to start making change, I'm proud of you for making that realization. If you in a point where you looking back and you find out how balanced things are, now that you've taken, those steps to balance things out, I'm proud of you. I know that shit was not fucking easy. I am proud of you. If you are at this Nine of Pentacles pre-Empress energy, I am so proud of you. And I am so happy for you that you were able to find worth within yourself. If you are at the point where you are mapping out your life, take your time. Do not rush. And don't listen to nobody else, because don't nobody else know what's best for you but you. And be gentle with yourself, and don't be afraid to raise the motherfucking bar. Want what you want without a price limit. Do not limit yourself with price. Because when you believe in yourself, you're going to make it happen. And the universe is waiting to back you up, regardless. And if you are at this magician point in your journey and you putting forth that effort, I'm proud of you. I know it's not easy, but you doing it, and you doing it motherfucking well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. And I'm proud of you. And you're going to have all that you fucking want because you deserve it. And you are worthy of it. And you know that. But I'm a reassurance. Show do the heart good a little bit sometimes. And I ain't about to say nothing else. I'm going to leave this at this because this was the message. These cards sat here and marinated overnight, baby. And the message, here it is. So, good luck on your journey. Excuse me. I'm proud of you every step of the way. Remember to be proud of yourself every step of the way. Every step of the way, while you're making these little baby steps, you're not going to realize. But when you get to these points and you look back at where you were previously, look back with pride. I did that. I did that. And I am proud of me for doing that. What Snoop Dogg said, I would like to thank me for believing in me. Period. And also gratitude to the universe. Right now, I would say I'm in the temperance stage. I'm looking back at how bad things were, and I'm finally realizing, like, okay, I'm at a place where I can start taking time to myself and, start getting myself back together, start making myself feel good again, And, sometimes I dip I step a little forward and I dip my toe in the world card energy, and I'm like, I know what I want my life to look like, and that outline, because there ain't no steps to this shit. Leap, however the fuck far you gonna leap, baby. The universe is gonna catch you. I know what I want my life to look like, and you can use that as a guideline to help yourself get through these stages. To know what to do. I know what my life looks like. Here's XYZ steps that I'm gonna need to take in order to see that happen. Okay? I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. I am proud of you. I am proud of you. I am proud of you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I ain't worried about it because, baby, you're going to get what the fuck you got coming to you, and it's all good. All good. Period. Why? Because you did that. I can keep going on and on and on and praising you for how proud I am of you for doing what the fuck you did. But, baby, look, I'm hot. Child. So I'm about to get off here. Love you.